benefits, and how do you implement those policies so that this emerging group can be part of it. You then begin an education process and procedures, and then that moves into advocacy to the communities where you live. I know I grew up in a very white Catholic neighborhood, and my community that I live in now is very different from that community that I lived in as a child. So we see how I became more diverse, and hopefully you all have your stories that way as well. But it's interesting when we work with groups because we see that it doesn't happen easily all the time as we work with these new groups. I'm going to show a couple quotes here and talk about kind of ideas of diversity that have happened over the years. I'll let you kind of read those. I know the first one, when we read it, you think about, well, this must be about LGBT and Proposition 8 out here in California where I am, and all the rhetoric, and you begin to see that in fact, in all of these quotes, these are things that have been said about other groups as they emerged into the community and the workplace. And it's amazing that even if we look at the last one, it's 1997, and we still see talking about racial equality in the schools is still an issue for some individuals. So just because we become diverse and aware doesn't mean things change. So it's a constant work. And we see when we work around the world that there's a lot of differences in global policies and how laws are made, because many times these emerging groups, when they come in, rely upon the protections of their state or their local governments to make sure that they are included in that, and international organizations can get involved. But I want to bring it into looking here in the United States, because that's probably a more direct impact. Our Constitution prohibits federal and state discrimination. The private sector doesn't necessarily have to do that, but many times they do. And we're looking at providing a workplace that can cover all those job aspects, from recruiting to evaluations, promotions, disciplinary actions. And then state laws can also be created. One of the interesting parts is if we look back at the history of evolution of federal protection,